week, our heroes talk about their 2020 Spotify review. Disney Plus rolls out its master plan, and is Dan Salsa growing? All this and more on this week's episode of the CCMouse Podcast. Ho ho ho, everybody! Welcome to this week's episode of the CCMouse Podcast. We are good for your ears. I'm Dan, and you can find me everywhere at RFSdan.
And I'm Jess, and you can find me currently under dog rule, which means I can't move because there's a dog in my lap.
She's so cute. She looks so happy right now, too. For those of you that are listening to the audio version of this, if you head over to youtube.com/CCMouse Podcast, you can see the cutest dog ever.
She is, that's what we'll call her today.
She's
a pain in the butt.
Why is she so happy right now? Is it because, and she's filling out. Oh man, this is the first time I can see that head. That's a snow dog head.
The fluffiness here is really starting to fluffy.
Yeah, it is. And they stopped shedding, right? Because I noticed, because I vacuum here like 3 times a week, that the cat hair is almost to a minimal right now.
Oh, mine's not.
No?
Mine's not. No, my dogs are still shedding like crazy right now.
She looks so happy. I can't stop smiling at this. Oh, super ton.
Yep. She's like, I'm breathing into the microphone.
What do you think? What's her agenda right now? What do you think she wants?
Well, we have 13.7 inches of snow outside.
Good job. I saw that record that you sent to me. There was nothing within the last 40, 50 years close to the amount of snow that you guys got.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
She's chewing on the microphone.
Oh,
you can't see it in the camera, but her tooth is over.
Is it? Oh, she's so cute. Yeah. I wonder if I could bring her up on the screen.
Kara, you're making this very difficult.
No.
She's like, I'm just helping. Yeah, her agenda right now is please let me back outside. All I want is back outside. You want down now? I'll let you down. I mean, you're free to go on your own.
You better hope you hit all those paper towels.
Right, and the toilet paper and everything else. Oh, there she goes. All right. See you later, Kira.
Since it's snowing, and this is her second year of snow, is she asking to go outside just like, let me out?
Yeah. And not coming back inside. If you watch the videos on our TikTok or on Snow Dog's shorts, I've actually been doing a bunch of videos of the life with the husky where she's just standing out there. And I have a whole bunch more to upload because I'm like, I'm going to take advantage of all this snow and get as much of these short little cute videos as I can.
Happy as happy.
She stands there and oh my gosh, she stands there and stares. She'll make it all the way to the door and she'll sit in the snow. You're like this far from getting her in, and she's like, mm-mm.
She's like, nope. Nope.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, she's loving it. Memphis, I got some cute videos of Memphis outside in the snow. Memphis has fun out there, but she wants to be wherever I am. So if I'm not out there, she's not too keen on just staying out there. She just wants to come outside.
It's all right. You have cat dog and I have dog cat. I mean, Mouse is the same way. I caught Mouse hiding. His new deal is he wants to go into the trash can and he wants to take only the Q-tips. And I walked into the bathroom, and I know I should shut the bathroom door. And I do most of the time. I walked in there and I noticed that all the carpeting's moved in the bathroom and the scales moved. And I'm like, all right. So I move the scale back, and when I pick up the scale, they're hiding under the scale. So I think he's trying to hide the stuff like a dog would, because I've never seen a cat do that. Like a dog would, or for you old people like Tiger from the Brady Bunch when he hid Cindy's doll. And he wants to go back later and get him.
Right. Yeah. That's what Kira's been doing with the apples in the backyard in the snow.
Hiding them for future apples?
Yeah.
Nice. I love it. They're smart.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Smart. Yeah. So we got 13.7 inches of snow, which is the 10th highest one-day snowfall on record in our county.
That's crazy.
Which that was all in one day. We got that snow in a 12-hour span. We got 13.7 inches. My parents measured 17 inches at their house. I actually measured almost 15 inches at my house. Greg said they got about 15 inches out at his house. So it kind of varies, but they do like a snowfall total where there's one place that they measure it at, and that was the official measure.
Back, yeah. So. I saw the picture of your mom's, I saw the video of your mom that she posted of Indy, and it was so cute. Just pew, jumping up and down, popping out of the snow, into the snow, out of the snow, into the snow. It looked angry though. Like I saw, you sent me a picture and Jamie was out there plowing or whatever. The fences looked just like icicles, and it looked like angry snow.
It was very heavy. We were very fortunate we didn't lose power. There was a lot of people here that lost power. One of my friends was out of power for, I think it was 36 hours total. They had no power. it's just one of the things you got to learn when you live up here. You should always have a backup generator or a backup source of heat, because when the snow fell, it was in the 30s, so it was really thick, heavy. It wasn't that like fluffy, light snow. It's thick and heavy and wet. So it clings to the trees and it drags all the branches down, and if the branches can't handle it, it snaps branches off. Now it's snapping power lines all over the place. So the power company might fix this line right here, but when they go to this line right here, it still snaps. So this is fixed. The power should come back on. Well, a few feet down, there's another tree. Yeah, man, so
that is crazy. And I never thought about that part. I've said this before, until I was out there when it snowed on Halloween, and we went jeeping, and so many trees were just bent down and wanting to break. Even the trees in your backyard, they were down 4 or 5 feet. You could now grab the branches. Yeah. So I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
cool.
our oak tree lost a couple of small branches. One of our apple trees lost 2 limbs in the back. I don't think that apple tree is going to make it now.
No.
And there's nothing you can do. You know, people are like, well, go out there and shake the snow off. And what you don't understand is when it's snowing, it doesn't matter how many times you go out there. They're still going to get wet and heavy and ice. And if you shake it while it's that heavy, like this was not a time for you to shake a tree. This was way too heavy snow for this. If you shake it and try to get the snow off, you're going to snap the branches, because now you're taking all of that weight and you're moving it. So you kind of just have to let it go and let the wind do its thing. And you can go out there, you know, after the snow and kind of like shovel everything off. But by then the branches that are going to break are already broke.
That's dangerous. So you're telling me when you had me go out there and shake that tree for the first time ever, there was a chance that the tree was going to just fall on me?
I mean, there was a chance, but the snow when you were there, when you did that, wasn't really heavy. It was more of that fluffy snow. So I mean,
it was
yeah,
happy snow. You're right. It was.
Yeah,
it
was. Yeah, it's the heavy snow that you don't want to do that in, because the tree could just come down.
So you got to be stoked about it snowing. You got to be pretty happy.
Oh yeah. It's been nice. We've been taking the Jeep out. I took the dogs out again today. They plowed our road, but they didn't wreck it, so I was able to actually take the dogs out again today. It was a little more packed down than I would have liked, but just to go around the block, it was fun. We went out Jeeping the other day, made it down a trail that we couldn't finish because the trees were all down at the end and we forgot to bring the chainsaw.
Oh, see, that's cool. That sounds fun. Next time we go, can we bring the chainsaw?
I mean, we probably should.
Okay, cool. That'll be.
We had to go out and save Jamie's cousin and drive down a bunch of unplowed roads because they had a tire that fell off their plow truck, and you got to get those people plowed out. So we had to pick up the parts and drive down the unplowed roads. And it's been an adventurous couple of days.
It looked cool. You sent me a video of you guys driving, and it looked like Star Wars. It looked like you guys were hitting hyperspeed with all the snow coming at your face. Well, good. I'm glad you're having weather changes. It's pretty cool here, but right now, honestly, the palm trees that's outside my window blowing a little bit, but it's still nice here in California.
Yeah, I think it's 24 degrees today,
I would love to have the snow. I would love to have the snow. All right, I have a whole list of stuff here to talk about, Jess. Let's just go off the top here. I was going to talk about how Lord of the Rings sucks, but I'm going to save that remark until...
talk about how Lord of the Rings sucks.
I'm going to talk about that after I'm done with the third movie, because you and I were talking about it right before this, and the first movie just ended, so I woke up out of the first coma. But I'll wait till I'm done with all 3 of them before I give my review on that. So we'll come back to that. Jess, it says meet and greet Jess. Jess, you had a meet and greet the other day.
We did. What was that? Last week, Saturday.
Last week on Saturday.
Yeah. So because PetCon's one of the conventions that we've gone to. That was when we came out to see you guys when we drove all the way out to LA with the dogs. We've been to New York twice. We were supposed to be in Chicago this year. PetCon is one of the conventions that we tend to do with the dogs. Not my favorite convention. I like the ones where we get all the time we want with people. PetCon is more of a structured, because there's so many pet influencers there. They kind of like shuffle everybody through the line. You get an hour and a half, and when you're done, you're done. Of course, we wander around anyway. But because of COVID, because of the state of the world right now, we weren't able, all the conventions were canceled. PetCon came up with this idea to do this virtual meet and greet. They donate a lot of the money that they raise. I think they donate all of the money that they raise pretty much to, I don't remember where. It's on their website, I'm sure. But they donate all the money to like Pets in Need or like a bunch of other places.
Oh, right. Okay, cool.
So they asked us if we wanted to participate in this virtual meet and greet. I'm like, it sounds weird. Like, I don't understand what it is. So they explained it. They said basically you get on your phone, there's an app, you go on there, everybody picks a time slot, you get 3 minutes. That's it. It's 3 minutes. And it was I think we did it for an hour or an hour and a half. whatever it was, all of our time slots except for the last 2 actually filled up. So we sat and did it the whole time. And we got on the app and people were able to talk to us for a couple of minutes, and it gave like a countdown. It told you when there was a minute left and when there was 30 seconds left. So, it wasn't like you just got cut off. You knew that the end of the 3 minutes was coming. But it was really, it was both happy and sad. Like, I really enjoyed seeing the people who I wasn't able to see this year in New York that we've seen every year for the past couple of years. It was really cool to be able to see them. But then at the same time, it made me sad because it's like the dogs aren't getting pets and we're not getting hugs from these people. And so I enjoyed it, but at the same time, I was like,
yeah,
this year sucks.
It kind of reminds me of like that scene in The Land Before Time where the Earth is Pangeaing and it's going and the people are on each side of it. It's kind of like, hi, here I am, bye.
Yeah,
bye.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you some behind the scenes stuff because I'm curious about the logistics of it. Because I saw the list and I saw your times. You get 3 hard minutes. But the times butted up with the other times. So there was no time in between. So it said 1 o'clock to 1:03, 1:03 to 1:06, 1:06 to 1:09. How did you manage that time? Soon as it cut it off, did it just hard cut to the next person?
There's on the app, what would happen is it would cut off the person and then you hit start and it goes right into the next person.
Okay. So
and you don't really want to wait in between because they only get 3 minutes and then it goes to the next person. So basically it would end and it would say start the next meeting and you'd have to click a button to start the next meeting.
Okay. Did it say pretty much on time? That's the logistics I was most curious about the whole thing was how did you manage that if the times actually butt up? You still have to take a breath in between.
Yeah, no, it pretty much just rolled right into the next one. And what was crazy was when it started, I put a hard candy in my mouth because I didn't want to constantly be like drinking water and stuff while I was talking. So, usually I have like hard candies and things like that. So it started and my idea was I'm going to sit on the floor and I'm going to have the camera and I'm going to have it on a tripod and I'm going to, basically see the dogs. Well, I couldn't figure out how to flip the camera around. So that was my first issue. And then the second issue was I had candy in my mouth and all Kira wanted was the candy out of my mouth. Oh. So instead of the dogs like being away from me, they were this close.
You just swallow
and
it.
I'm like,
gulp.
This is horrible. This is never going to work. What are we doing? So the first few people during the meet and greet could definitely tell I was on the struggle bus. So, yeah. But we managed. We managed.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, it was fun. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I'm really glad that we got to do it, but I really hope next year it's in person because that was just weird.
I think it probably will. Good. That's what I wanted to know. I was just curious about the back end stuff on it because that seemed like it was a lot to juggle.
It was definitely. It was more than I thought it was going to be.
Did the dogs stay around the whole time?
Oh, yeah. I just put the baby gate up in the office so they'd hang out in the office with me.
Because they can't jump over that 2-foot tall thing for some reason.
Yeah, right?
Oh, my gosh.
Memphis would have stayed in here anyway. Kira would have been the one to wander around. But they did good.
So check this out, Jess. Okay. So Crystal did all her baking. She did like 3 days of baking. We had like 50 packages of baking to send to people. Okay, maybe not that many. Maybe like 20. And so we're making all these packages of candy. We got to box them up. We got to put UPS labels on them. We got to send them out. And Crystal breaks out the Christmas cards. And I'm like, all right, I'll fill out some Christmas cards. So we're filling out all the Christmas cards. And oh, darn it, they're out of arm's reach. The Christmas cards are like a Christmas tree, but the Christmas tree is glitter, right? Then there's some other cards that are cute penguins, but the little like the scarves around their neck and the hats have glitter on it. And I'm like, oh, cute.
Cute.
I've never seen so much glitter. The glitter's everywhere. The glitter's on the couch. It's on the table. It's on the boxes. It's on the packages. It comes time to make your card. And I'm trying to find a non-glitter Christmas card, which doesn't exist. So I'm trying to figure it out. Then I'm literally taking the vacuum and I'm vacuuming off your card, your package, so you don't get any glitter. And as much as I love glitter, it's bad. It's everywhere. It's in the grains of my table. I try to wipe it off with a wet cloth. I try to vacuum it off at 1:30 in the morning, vacuuming like a crazy person. It's on mouse. It's everywhere. It got in the bathroom. I didn't even go in the bathroom. It's in the bathroom. It's everywhere.
Doesn't matter.
It is really everywhere, Jess. It really is. I don't know why I didn't see it before, but I'd made mass cards, and the cards were just leaking everywhere. Yeah,
I got a box over there I got to open, and I usually, before I open them, I'll bend them And if you hear that crinkle because you know it's glitter, I'm like, nope, that card can be opened by Jamie.
Yes. I've learned that gritty noise. It's like sandpaper grit noise. Yeah. So
which I just don't understand. I don't understand why glitter cards, because you can't get Christmas cards without glitter. I send them out every year. But they get everywhere, and it gets on everything, and it's 10 times worse than the pine needles from a Christmas tree because the glitter's there forever.
Absolutely. It's forever. So I love glitter, but I have a newfound loved hatred for glitter just because of how much of a mess I'm looking at my desk right here, and I just wiped my hand over it. Now there's glitter on my hand, and it's still in the particles of the desk. It's not good. People say it's the herpes of the craft world.
Yeah.
And I agree. So I don't know. Like I'm not bah humbug, but glitter, you need to step up your game. Look, you need to take a cue from the light industry. There was light bulbs, and then they made LEDs, and they were better than light bulbs, and they don't break or wear out, and they're brighter.
So glitter, what needs to happen is like when the glitter is glued on, then they need to take lacquer and put lacquer over top of it.
Yeah.
So then it stays there.
Right. Yes. Please, Jim Glitter, the inventor of the glitter, could you reinvent the glitter, please? Please reinvent
or don't. Just get rid of it.
Right. So the next morning happens, and I'm gonna take all these packages of the post office. And like, how do I say it nicely? The people at the post office, we have 2 or 3 post offices, but the one on the boulevard there, it's a moranathon. Like it's the worst every day. I feel like these people are like sitcom like people. It's the worst. And I'll give you an example in a minute, but it's the worst. So I know what I'm in for, right? When I worked at the print shop and we did cubesmith.com stuff, the Rubik's Cube stuff, we would take 40, 50 packages to the post office a day. So we got to know these post office people real well. And the fact that I do agree that an autonomous robot should be doing that job, just because it's just ridiculous. They're ridiculous, right? So I knew I'm in for it. But I want to go to the P.O. box anyway. So I get all down there. I'm all happy. I dodge all the transients. I get in line. The line is all the way in the back of the post office. I check my P.O. box. I'm waiting in line. I get all the way up to the line, and I get up to the front, and I'm handing all my packages and stuff like that. And I need 2 custom forms to send something to Australia and Canada. So she gives me the forms. She says, come back to the front here to the window when you have these forms filled out. No problem.
Yep.
You know, I do that. I go to fill out the forms. And the one and the line goes by table. So I go over to a table. She's like, sweetie, the line's back there. And I just kind of looked. I didn't really say anything. I just smiled. She's like, I love your hair. Because I had my hair up that day because I was doing a food review video.
Right.
And I just waved or whatever and went back to writing my stuff. Like, I'm not cutting in line. Like, I'm just writing my stuff out.
Right.
Then I go back up to the window and kind of stand by the window while, like, it was chilly in there. And then I felt the heat of everybody's eyes staring, leering, wishing death upon me. They're all Krampuses in line. And I'm just standing there with that 100-yard stare. And then that girl that told me I was like, don't cut in line, she was next. And then they said next person. And then I peek around the window and I could just feel Superman's eye beams on the back of my head. And I felt so bad. Normally, I would just go through the whole line again because that's how I am. But I'm like, she told me to come up here. So I did. So I get up there to the lady and it says, fill out everything in the gray boxes. I'll try to make this short. And I filled out everything in the gray boxes, but she's like, you didn't put the country code on here. And I was like, I don't know the country code for Australia. Can we look it up? And she's like, no. And I didn't say anything. I just stopped and I was quiet. I have a mask on.
Right.
So I have these like puppy eyes and I'm just like, and she's like, we don't have that capability. And I'm thinking like, that's your own, like what that's your only job, right? Like you got to get stuff from A to B and you don't have the capability to look at the postal code, and it wasn't in the gray box. So I don't know. So I just left it blank. I mean, you know, Australia is pretty small, right? So I'm just like, all right, I'll get there. Blake had a dentist this morning at 9:30. I knew about it like 2 days ago. I was going to remember. I didn't tell Alexa. I didn't tell her. I didn't remind the ALEXA. Which, I'll tell you what, I'm new to this. There's 3 of them in my house now, and the Dane TV commercials say it. The Dane TV commercials say it. It comes up. They say it. It turns on my ALEXA.
Yep.
Ooh. It turns on. I see it's the UPS guy. Oh my gosh, I think he wants a signature. Can you leave it there? Oh, I don't know what to do. Can you leave it there? I'm talking about Alexa.
Now she's activated.
Oh my god, I can't do. anything. Oh, he's walking
Yeah,
away.
you
He
can.
walked away and
I was
left the
just
package.
saying-
That's
okay,
that's
you're good.
perfect. That's perfect.
You're good.
Yes, it's just pots and pans. So anyway, so the commercials are yelling this stuff, but I think they're smart because they said, hey, Alexa, do this or show me this or this, and then it was trying to play the movie trailer on my thing because I have the Alexa show.
Right.
Oops, I'm sorry, people at home. But it definitely turns on the devices. Mm-hmm. It does. So
sometimes the TV commercials will trigger mine, and sometimes it doesn't. It's very strange.
Right. Well, and I'm all like right in the room here, and there's 3 of them in earshot. Sometimes one will pick up or the other one will pick up, and it'll start talking on the other. Oh my gosh, yes. Anyway, so I forgot to put it on the Alexa, and I missed it. So I'm like scrambling now, like I'm in high school trouble. I'm like, what do I do? Do I tell him my mom died? Do I say that we were in a plane crash or like, I don't know what to say. So I'm like, I'm in so much trouble. And I call and it's all rain. And she's all like, West Valley Day. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know what I did. I forgot all about it. I had one job and I did it. And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I have my hands on my face. She's like, sir, you're going to have to get it together. So after this, I got to take Blake over to the dentist. She's like, a lot's going on in the world right now. I'm like, I worked retail, lady. And I know you're not retail, but come on. Inside, you're like, where's that 9:30 at? Where's our 9:30 at? A 9:30 no-show? We could have got breakfast burritos from the food truck. So... So oh man, Dad of the Year. Dad of the Year on that one. All right. Oh, we have a couple other things. What time? Where are we at? Okay, we have a couple other things to talk about before we get on to the thumbnail topic of the week. Ooh, I wonder what.
We have a thumbnail topic of the week?
We do. We have 2 thumbnail topics of the week, and I'm not sure which one we're going to use. Although I think I do. Let's get rid of how bad Saved by the Bell was to you, and let's go on to a Spotify review.
Okay.
Let's go on to the Spotify review. It's a year in review for Spotify, everybody.
Yeah. I gotta open up my reminders of what my thing was. I was trying to figure out how to open it up on my phone again, and I couldn't do it.
I did screenshots and stuff like that, and I could only find it. So Spotify has this thing at the end of the year where it'll show you how much it'll show you where you've been putting your life in Spotify's hand, how many minutes you've been listening to a song, what your favorite song is. They almost gauge your mood, or they can tell you like if you were depressed or not by what you listened to all year long, your favorite podcast, all that good stuff's there. And they package it up pretty neat. I was pretty impressed by the way they packaged it up. And last year I had good numbers because I listened to Spotify the whole year. So I had really good numbers. It was heavy Taylor Swift-ish, heavy pop, heavy like Rihanna. It was heavy like pop-ish. This year, I didn't start listening to Spotify until like close to when we got back from camping.
Yeah. So you didn't listen to it all year long.
I didn't listen to
like
music this year. I go through phases. This year it was 90s wrestling that was on the TV or on my second screen over here while I was working. I was really into watching old school 90s wrestling for nostalgia purposes. Like it reminds me of a kid and happy times. So then I got on the Spotify, and so I didn't really have too much time on the Spotifys. So what it gives me, I will tell you, but I don't feel like it's I'm guilty of it if I listen to it.
True, but it's not super accurate.
But I don't think it describes, I feel like a lot of songs and a lot of people's lists describe this year. Like, it very much described what this year was about.
Oh, right.
Mine, I guess, really doesn't, or maybe it does. And maybe it does. I don't even know where to start on this list here.
Mine says I discovered 139 new artists this year.
Dang, that beats my 54. I thought 54 was high for me.
Yeah,
yes.
139.
So it's 139 band names that you did not cross your ears before this. What do you attribute that to? Like Music Monday, Friday, New Music Monday, New Music Friday?
I don't know, the release radar. I don't know, because I listen to a lot on Octane as well, and I feel like whenever I hear a new band on Octane, if it's a song I like, I automatically add them on Spotify so I can go listen to more and see if it's somebody that I'll actually listen to. So I think it's part of that.
Right.
It says you listened to 228 genres this year, including 59 new ones. So if you want to know the type of music I listen to, it's literally everything.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Did yours give you that number?
I'm looking for right now. No, I don't see that.
Yeah, that's a lot. Can you guess what my top genre was?
Is that like angry, or is that like aggressive rock? It's aggressive.
Aggressive rock. My top genre, number 1 was alternative metal. Number 2 was modern rock. Number 3, which is weird, is pop rap, which I don't know what that is, but I guess I listened to it. 4 was metalcore, which I don't know what that is. And then 5 is pop. So that's actually what mine says.
Let's see. Okay, I got mine back up here. It doesn't give me all the same stats, I think, as yours does. So
no, my top genres was on my third window.
My top genre, oh my gosh, my top genre, because I took screenshots of this. My top genre says that I listen to more, what is it? It's more Riot Girl music than anything. What's Riot Girl music? I know what it is. It's that angsty teenage, like, punk band stuff.
Right.
So yes, I am Riot Girl labeled this year. I guess it was,
the song?
Pop Girl last year, but Riot Girl is the genre.
What was the song you listened to the most?
It was weird. It was a Flaming Lips song.
Was it?
Yeah, I was waiting for Superman, I guess. But then again, I only have 1,126 minutes listened.
Oh, right.
So
mine says that at the end, so.
Yeah, so I had Flaming Lips and Rilo Kiley were probably the two I listened to the most. Rilo Kiley, again, I've loved them forever. But I don't know, I went through a Flaming Lips kick where maybe it was playing on my Spotify and it just kind of like looped around. I like them just fine. But I don't know why it's championing them to the point where I was in the 1% of all their listeners.
Jesus.
And I only had 1,100 minutes of music. Nobody listening to the Flaming Lips.
Apparently nobody listens to them anymore.
They retweeted my 1%.
That's funny.
Yes. So what was yours?
My top song of the year was Grandson's "How About Now."
Oh, you're down for Grandsons. Where does the Wake Up song rank this year?
I don't know. It's going through the thing.
You are super into Grandson.
The story of 2020 is this song. I first listened to that song on April 24th. I streamed it the most on May 29th, and apparently I streamed it for the 25th time on July 29th. I streamed it 30 times total. Oh. So apparently I listened to it 30 times total.
Wow, see, I don't get that.
It says, but a year like 2020 required a backup. So my top song was How About Now by Grandson. My number 2 song, you're going to hate this, was Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. The most overplayed song of 2020.
I've never loved and hated something in like a 3-month span. I'm like, this is the best ever. My youth is back. And then I'm like, I hate this.
My number 3 song was Zen, which is very much a 2020 song by Grandson. And then 4 was Peaches by Grandson. And 5 was Bang by AJR.
I don't think I've ever heard like anything. I only know these bands because of you.
I know, right? Oh, gosh. Let's see. I added a whole bunch of songs to my library. You're a good listener. Yeah, we know. CCMouse Podcast was the top podcast, mainly because I don't really listen to podcasts.
I listen to my podcast on the iPod app, so I didn't see anything at all about the CCMouse Podcast on mine, but plenty of you tagged us in us being your number 1 podcast on Spotify, and I loved it because it beat out Joe Rogan on some of them, on some people's podcasts.
That's so
I'm like,
cool.
That's rad, yes. But a lot of you, at least half a dozen of you, tagged us, and I reshared them of being your guys' number 1 listened to podcast. Thank you so much.
That's pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. But I do not have a podcast one on mine at all.
No, I did have that. Oh, now it's going on to the next thing. Let's see what else it says here. I'm a pioneer, apparently. I don't know what that means, but now music? It's telling me I'm a pioneer. You listened to The Unknown by 10 Years before it even hit 50,000 streams.
I got that from something. Somebody told me I was there first. I'm like, I feel good about this.
That was a good one to listen to first, that's for sure. Throw It Back. Since time wasn't real this year, some of your favorites. Compared to other listeners, which decade did you play the most? 90s, 2000s, 70s, and 80s. Is it going to tell me, or is that asking me?
I think
which
it's asking
decade
you.
I played the most,
or I don't know if it's asking you or not. Mine was 90s.
Oh wait, was it? Well, of course.
Yeah, I lived in the 90s.
Yeah, it's kind of just it's playing through it. I don't know. It listed all 4 of them. It says my top decade was the 2000s, actually.
Okay.
All right. Who was by your side in 2020, other than your houseplants, of course?
Is that what it said?
Guess my top artist of the year, and these are the selections it gave me: 10 Years, AJR, Grandson, and Shinedown. Of course, Shinedown's on the list. But which one was the top artist?
I'm going with Shinedown over Grandson because they've been around longer in your rotation. But it's hard. It's between Shinedown and Grandson. Shinedown.
Grandson.
Oh, I should have guessed it.
And I was in the top 2% of their listeners.
Nice, and they're pretty big. They're pretty popular.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And I started listening to them before they hit like Octane and all those stations.
Yeah, you were down for them.
I spent over 600 minutes listening to their music. That's a lot of minutes. That's a lot of minutes watch time. I listened to 637 artists this year. My top artist was Grandson, of course. Number 1 was Grandson. Number 2 was Shinedown. Shinedown was number 1 last year. Number 3 was 10 Years. Number 4 was AJR, which got put in my rotation for some reason this year. Thanks, TikTok. Actually, Jamie used to listen to them before they really became popular on TikTok. And then number 5 was Theory of a Dead Man.
It says I did 58 artists this year, so that's not much.
Yeah.
I didn't get much time in my Spotify.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time in Spotify. Yeah, so that's that was it. My top band of the year this year was Grandson.
What about your total? What was your total minutes listened?
11,772. Yeah, 11,772.
That's pretty good. That's a lot. But you're always music in it.
Yeah, I pretty much always music it always. So yeah, so that's my what's it called? My Spotify update from this year.
Do you feel that it represents this year for you pretty well?
Yeah.
Because I feel really misrepresented, but I'm the only one that did this. So maybe I just think differently than what is on there?
I definitely think it's pretty on. That's pretty much what I listen to.
Oh, it is. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I should have guessed Grandson, but yes, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, let us know in the comments if you are happy with your Spotify mix of the year. Who else is doing this too? Because I saw a tweet that said, "Oh, is everybody releasing their end of the year, stats all in one day?" But who else does this? Oh, Facebook, I guess will kind of do one about like who you texted the most or who you like responded to the most or something like that.
TubeBuddy does one on YouTube that kind of tells you like how many videos you uploaded, how much you gained, how much so TubeBuddy does that and kind of lets you know like what's going on.
Right. I was super stoked to read them all until I saw your cousin's and he posted his on.
I didn't see it.
He posted his on there and he did.
I didn't even see mine yet.
He did phenomenal.
Did you get it in your email?
It was just in my email. It was just in my email with oh, here's your year-end stuff or something. And it was just in the email. You couldn't click and go to anywhere else. It was just in the email and it was crude. It started giving you good stats. I was like, congratulations, this year you made it to the monetization program. And congratulations, this year you did so many views and so many stuff. And I'm like, these are good numbers for me.
Right.
And then I saw Tom's and then I was just like, whoa, he tore it up.
My cousin's been doing really good on YouTube.
Oh, his growth was this year. But I like this. I think more things should do this.
I agree. I mean, they have our data. They might as well tell us.
They might as well repackage it. Yeah, right.
Listening to and all of those things. My mom is blowing up my phone for some reason. She wants to know if I want indie for a bit.
Is she done? Is she like, would you watch my puppy?
I have so much to do, Mom, and I'm podcasting.
But you can't say
no. I don't know when they're coming. I can't say no.
You can't say no.
So I said when. So sorry, guys. You get to watch me text my mom back and forth.
Oh, you're
fine.
You
cannot ignore a text from your mother. Never, ever ignore a text from your mother.
All right, Jess. Are you caught up on The Mandalorian? Are you all caught up on The Mandalorian?
Yes.
Okay. You saw this last episode this last
yes.
Friday? All right.
Yeah,
are you liking it so far?
Sunday night. Yeah, I still like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been good. Each episode's been better than the one before. This week's episode was all right, but the last 2 episodes before that were amazing. I'll try not to spoil the show. This is only a segue into other stuff, but I've been really enjoying it. I love Jon Favreau's vision of like this like space spaghetti western type thing where at the end of every episode we're going to the next planet. Like what adventure are we doing next? It's kind of like a quantum leap like style, and I'm loving it. I'm digging it. And then Disney goes and announces their 2021. Well, no, not 21 because it's gonna be over the next few years. But their future projections at their shareholder meetings. So you show up to the shareholders meetings. Everybody wants to know what they're getting for their money. You know, I own 10% of Disney Plus. I go to the shareholders meeting. I want to know why I'm stoked to be owning Disney Plus. So this is where they roll out all the stuff. They'll roll out all the new shows, all the new projects, all the new stuff that they want to do. And then they did. Yeah. And you guys can see it on youtube.com/CCMouse Podcast. I have a little photo up behind us here so we can see all the new IPs that they announced. This isn't even including all the new Marvel stuff that they're doing or any of that stuff at all.
Yeah, there was some new Pixar stuff coming. They're doing a Buzz Lightyear movie.
Are they really?
Yeah, it's going to be Lightyear, but it's not going to be voiced by Tim Allen. It's going to be voiced by Chris Evans, which kind of makes me upset. But the reason they're doing... All these people were like, it's because it's not about the toy. It's about Buzz Lightyear as a person. And I'm like, yeah, but it's still Tim Allen's voice. It should still be Tim Allen.
Right?
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it's any good.
Interesting. I didn't know that. That's going to be fun. I saw that Loki was going to also get a television show as well, maybe?
Yeah. Yep, I saw that too.
Yeah. I like the guy that plays him. He's fun. So
yeah,
I would watch that. I was never a big Loki fan in the comic books. I mean, nobody really was. You know, I'd rather hang out with Beta Ray Bill. But... the actor is great. He's full of charm, so I think that's gonna be fun. So I'm looking at this thing here of just the Star Wars stuff, and Ahsoka is gonna get her own spin-off show. Which, if you guys haven't seen those episodes, I can't help you on that. Like, it's right there on the screen. Disney Plus isn't trying to hide it. They did say that a lot of these shows were going to tie in with future seasons of The Mandalorian, which tells me that The Mandalorian is going to keep on trucking because, of course, you have to beat Star Wars into the ground. This is one IP. Because I was trying to explain this to Crystal, who has never watched a Star Wars. She knows about it because she's, from the U.S. Right. Like, we know about Star Wars, but she doesn't watch it. She's watched Spaceballs, not Star Wars. I know, go figure. And she's like, aren't you sick of this stuff? And I was trying to think of like, well... She's like, haven't they beaten this into the ground? There's more stories to tell. And I started thinking about it, and they've only...
How many seasons of Big Brother has there been?
Too many, honestly. That plane's hit
Aren't you sick of that yet?
That plane's hit the ground.
Right.
So she made that point, and I was trying to think of, like, what did they beat Star Wars into the ground with? Because we got 3 movies in the 70s, early 80s. Then we didn't get anything till the end of the 90s. And then we didn't get anything till the end of this decade. So I guess as much as we do know about Star Wars, I know there's a lot of books out there and a lot of comics that flush a lot of stories out. Visually, we haven't really seen too much Star Wars, unless you count, like, Rogue One or that really crappy Solo movie. Please do not... Oh, my gosh. And I didn't check on here. Please do not have anything to do with Han Solo or any of that stuff on here. Please don't, because anything that has to do with him or that Solo movie was just tripe. Anyway, so I'm like, they really haven't done much TV stuff. I guess Mandalorian is really the first crack at this that's actually working. So we have a lot of years to go for this new Star Wars stuff. So with the Mandalorian, it says Rangers of the New Republic. I don't know what that is, but I imagine it's all spin-off stuff, which I'm okay with not knowing. I'd rather watch a movie where I do not know who the actors are than watch shows that have actors in it. Bill Burr was in this last one, and I'm like, the raunchy stand-up comic? Like, it takes me out of it. I can't stand your pink head. Like, I would rather not know the characters that are in the movies. So that sounds good. Ahsoka, gets her own spin-off show. I love Rosario Dawson. She's great. I don't know, the Saberine was boring and slow, and everything seems slow, and it didn't seem very good, so I hope they can fix that. Not the most stoked about that, but then I wasn't a Clone Wars fan, so I didn't watch any of that stuff. The other one says Andor? Is that what that says there? Andor?
The planet.
Oh, like Endor?
No, wasn't that the planet? I don't know.
It would be the planet Endor is where Jedi was
that
from.
says Andor.
But maybe that has something to do with that. That'd be cool. Okay, so what's up with the Obi-Wan Kenobi?
I think that one's a movie. But it's going to be a movie on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay. I heard that they were pulling Hayden Christensen out of retirement to come there. Oh my gosh.
I was excited about that movie until they said that he was coming back.
That he was coming back? Yeah, they weren't.
And then I kind of went, oh, yay, more bad acting.
It was pretty bad acting.
Bad acting.
The Bad Batch, I don't know what that is, but that looks bounty hunter-ish with that camo-y kind of Boba Fett-ish type overlay.
Right.
But, I do like The Mandalorian. Not a Boba Fett fan at all. Most overrated superhero person comic. Like, just not a Boba Fett fan at all. Not at all. The slave, his ship, the Slave One, looks like it's like a mounted like head on the wall with a plate behind it that drives around. It's just awful. I don't know what Visions. That
is? I think that's an animated show. The Japanese. I don't know.
Right.
I read something about it.
Okay. Yes, you're right. Lando. I mean, I'm a Billy D. Williams fan. I'd watch a Lando show, but they better act quick because he ain't getting any younger. I don't know what the Acolyte is.
I didn't read up on most of these.
The one I'm excited about, though, with R2-D2 and C-3PO, a droid story. Yeah. That's going to be cute. I hope it's really fun. I hope it's just a bunch of like side quests for the main quests, kind of like they did with, there was the Lion King 2, and the Lion King like 2.5 or 2 1/3 or whatever they did. Did you watch that one?
1.5 or something. Yeah.
Oh, it was so cute where they showed it how they tied into the movies and stuff. I would like it if a droid story was like that, where like there'd be big action going on while the droids were handling side quests. That would be cool. And then something that doesn't have anything to do with Star Wars at all that I know of is Willow, which was a movie that everybody loved. If you're short, I noticed that all short people loved Willow.
I loved Willow.
Did you?
I loved Willow.
My friend's sister Tracy, she loved Willow, and she was so tiny. And I don't know. I like Warwick Davis. He's just fine.
I loved Willow.
He played. Actually, he's gonna get a lot of work if he's back in that, and he's actually gonna play R2 and droids. He's back at it, but I don't know. Maybe I should read. All I know is like, you are great. But I only remember that from the 80s or the early 90s when the trailer for the movie came out.
Right.
So I don't know what they're going to do about that. Maybe it's Willow and he's a family man now and he hates his 9 to 5. Who knows? And then the movie that I'm super excited about, Rogue Squadron, the actual movie where we go to the virtual theaters and watch it. I think that's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, they introduced a lot of stuff. It's almost overload.
It is overload, and I think they're going to roll these out over a bunch of years.
Yeah, that's what they said.
A bunch of years, but we will all be okay. So here's the thing: I loved comic books growing up. I was a comic book fan. I collected comic books. Oh my gosh, we have a legit comic book movie. I'm super stoked. I am so burnt out of that Marvel universe. I am burnt out. I love them all. They're still my friends. Like I'll always like them. But I'm just burnt out, and then I wonder how long it's going to be before we burn out Star Wars.
Yeah, I think there's two types of people. There's types of people like you get burnt out on a lot of stuff pretty easily, and then there's other people that I'm just going to watch it no matter what.
I'll watch it. Hey, moderation, everybody. Yeah, I employ you at home to take Star Wars in moderation. Yeah, don't overdo it. But if it's anything like The Mandalorian, which so Jon Favreau kicked off the Marvel Universe with Iron Man. He went to bat for Robert Downey Jr. He said, this is the way it needs to be. Trust me. They did. It set the precedence for all these Marvel movies. They showed that they could be funny. And Guardians of the Galaxy, I know, came directly from going like, yes, we could do this. That movie was so fun. So because Jon Favreau set that bar and showed that you can tell a story the way you want to tell it, and it doesn't have to match the algorithm of the Hollywood studios, he did the same thing with Mandalorian. So I'm hoping that they take that as the book and go from there. He's done so much amazing things. He tore it up with the live action Lion King movie. That was awesome, I thought. There's Elf. People like Elf.
I love Elf.
Yep. He did Elf. Like he the sidekick frustrating guy from the movie Swingers in the 90s has turned into like one of my favorite people ever. So I do have high hopes for this. I really do. Also, it also helps when you have nothing but handfuls of cash thrown at you.
True.
There is no budget. I know they're trying to make back their billions that they did to buy all these IPs out.
Right. They will. I think they will.
You think so?
They're also increasing the price on Disney Plus.
Ooh, by $1 in March or May.
Yeah, which it's really not much. It's $1.
But at one point I paid $4.95 a month for my Netflix.
Right.
And now there's a 1 in front of it.
But there also wasn't as much on there as there is now, so.
That's all leaving now, too, as all these other networks start their own paid services. Peacock, I have my free trial to Peacock or whatever, or whatever. They took back The Office, so, So I don't know what's going to happen to Netflix. They're going to end up being almost like. So there's always free movies on, like, Pluto, I think, is the app.
IMBD.
Right. When they have all these movies, that's all that's going to be left on these on Netflix soon, minus Netflix originals, because everybody's taking their stuff back because they all want your $5.
Right.
So I don't think that Netflix is going to be the king much longer. I think it's going to get oversaturated, and it's going to be like it used to be, where we're all going to be frustrated and can't figure out where to spend our $14.95 because there's 40 different places, and then there'll be one mega place again where you can watch all of them under another pay umbrella, and that'll slowly get disseminated as well, like we saw with Hulu and we're seeing with Netflix. So. I think it's going to be really hard to figure out what to do with TV. Let's go over. What do you subscribe to? You're Netflix?
I have Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do HBO.
Yeah.
But I have to cancel something for HBO. Well, right now HBO has like there's the show The Wire that looked good. There's
Yeah, see, I don't watch enough TV to spend the money on it. I just don't.
That's what stays on here instead of music. Crystal we'll put something on and it just plays.
Right.
I do kind of want to see the new Wonder Woman movie when it comes out on Christmas Day, but they want $14.95 a month for that stuff. It's like $15 a month, and I'm confused lately. What is Hulu anymore? Because I'm paying and I get commercials. And half the stuff I want to watch on Hulu now wants you to have something. They're like, oh, watch this movie on Hulu. And I click through it, and it's like, oh, just link it to your HBO. And Hulu's like your dashboard, and it'll link through your HBO. And
Hulu, they show a lot of stuff on Hulu. And if you have cable TV, you can see more stuff on Hulu. You just link it. Or if you have some of these other apps, you can link it all together. I watch a lot of stuff on Hulu. I don't have ads. I pay the extra $2 or whatever it is to not have the ads, because I like an ad-free. I like to support, but I still like ad-free. That's why I have YouTube Premium. But I still watch a ton of stuff on Hulu. So
I don't get how I pay money to log into a service to show me something that I can't have unless I pay another company's money service to show it to me through this portal. That makes me unhappy. I was trying to watch something last night. I put it on. It's like, oh, watch it on Hulu, and I hit play, and it's like, oh yeah, by the way, log into HBO and connect it to your Hulu. And I'm like, that's unfair. That's unfair.
It's just so that if you have those things, instead of having to have 20 million apps, you can have one and you can watch them all through one. That's all it's for.
Don't defend them. You're supposed to be my friend, Jess. You're supposed to have my back.
I'm not grumpy old Dan though.
I'm not. I mean, I take it. I take it in the butt. Like, I don't do anything about it. But I'm going to let you know that you shouldn't ring your bell. You shouldn't show me movies that I can't rent. And you shouldn't bring back Willow. Like, that's all I'm saying in this life. And what's up with your salsa, people? Oh my gosh, I sound like
Lord of the Rings sucks.
Oh my gosh, I just do sound like the Grinch.
I know.
But wait, I'm happy. Oh. Here, well, let's end this on a... Oh no, we talked about that last week. There was something that I had on the agenda last week that we could end the show on. It's not me being grumpy. I'm not.
Yeah, right.
I'm not. I'm not.
I'm just picking on you.
No, that's it. I'm done.
Apparently, my mom's bringing her dog over.
Yeah, so let's wrap this up before I turn everybody's frowns into sad faces. Was it that bad?
No, I was talking about my mom. My mom's bringing the dog over, and I'm not ready. And
I need a podcast with her. Send her in the. Is she here? Yes, send her in the room.
I told her I was podcasting. I said, call me, and she said, I'm putting socks on. Okay.
I love your mom. She's great.
You're not listening to me.
Right.
She called me today. She was so funny. She goes, do you have a coupon code for your Spreadshirt shop? And I went, yeah. But Mom, I can order stuff from my Spreadshirt shop at cost. So don't order stuff from there if you want it, because I'll just order it. Oh, well, never mind. Mom, what did you want? Oh, I broke another coffee cup. I'm like, do you want a coffee cup with my dogs on it? Or do you want a different, do you want it from a different store? I don't know. I'll just go to Goodwill and get coffee cups.
What? No, what?
I'm like, Mom, why did you even ask? So needless to say, I ordered a whole bunch of coffee cups.
She's like the sweetest ever.
And she never wants to bother me.
I know.
She'll call me, and if I sound like I'm busy, she's always like, oh, I'll talk to you later. And I'm like, no, because now I've stopped what I'm doing to answer the phone. You always answer the phone when your mom calls, and you always text her back when she texts you, because you just never know. Yeah. And, oh, no, I'll tell you later. I've already stopped what I'm doing. Just tell me now.
Right. I like her. She's like you without all the sass. She still has some, but I think you get that from your dad.
Yeah.
Oh, he's 100%. Great. He's good. You guys all have to meet him one day. If you have the chance, you got to meet him. You'll know where Jess gets it from. He's a hoot.
Right?
Yes. All right, let's wrap this up. Oh my gosh, this next episode will be the last episode before Christmas, and then I think the next episode is going to be the last one before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow, this year's wrapping up quick. I don't want it to end. I want it to stay like right here. Just right here.
Nah, I would like it to move a couple more months ahead.
Yeah, you ready for that?
So that I can start doing things again.
Oh, see what happens.
There's that old man Dan again.
All right, here we go. That'll do it for this week's episode of the CCMouse Podcast. Listen to us every Wednesday on your favorite music app. Watch the video version of the podcast at CCMouse on YouTube. And we'll see you next week. Same mouse time, same mouse podcast. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Hey, we did another thing.
Yay!
It's like 101 things now, right? Like the Dalmatians.
I know, right? I bet they're all happy. I'm out of here.
Right?